Overindulgence can occur in many ways. Although it's certainly one part of it, it's much more than buying too many toys or giving in to allowing sweets and junk food at every turn. First, I'm going to cover a brief introduction, starting with what exactly overindulgence is, reasons why this is often counterproductive to the goals of raising successful, happy, well-adjusted adults, and the well-meaning reasons many parents do. Then I'll cover the key areas where we can overindulge our kids and how to make sure we're maintaining good habits and boundaries for the best opportunity for success and happiness. So first, part of introduction, I'm going to cover the definition of overindulgence, which is giving too much, too soon, for too long. Here are a couple examples, but I will go into a lot more detail and examples in the main content, but just to give some idea. Giving experiences that are not age appropriate, such as taking an 8-year-old to a PG-13 movie because all my friends have seen it. Trust me, not all the friends have seen it. 1 or 2 kids perhaps did. But I was always able to call my kids out on this because I know their parents and I know how they parent. And I would say not all your friends because I know Caleb's parents and Nate's parents and Jordan's parents would not allow them. Then my child would say, okay, well maybe not all of them, but Jason has seen it. Okay, now we're getting to the reality. Giving things to a child to meet the parent's needs instead of the child's needs. So this is something like wanting your child to be the star of the baseball team and buying him all the top tier equipment so he'll look the part and expecting it will make him a stronger hitter by having that really high-end bat. Buying so many clothes that they can't even wear them before they grow out of them. In our house, my daughter started asking for horseback riding lessons when she was 5 or 6. While a lot of stables will start kids as early as 6 or 7, I told her she needed to wait until she was 10. Why? Many reasons. First is I had researched that 10 is the age when the spinal column is formed enough to handle a fall with a much smaller chance of concerning long-term damage. Number 2, riding is a big responsibility. It's a live creature. It's a strong creature. I felt my child should truly understand and be capable of performing the tasks that go along with riding, such as safety, education, grooming, tacking, cleaning stalls, and just understanding the sheer responsibility of riding such a large, powerful animal, as well as have a respect for the animal and an appreciation for how to behave around horses. Lastly, riding is very expensive, and children's cognitive abilities to listen and follow directions, the physical ability to understand what's being asked of them, and to make the movements that are being asked of them, when they're strong enough for the horse to respond, that starting at 7 or 8 versus 10, within 6 months the 10-year-old will be caught up with the child that started at 7 or 8. Overindulgence comes from good intentions because it comes from wanting kids to have the best. But when we end up giving too much and or too soon, it's counterproductive. Parents who fall into this trap want children to be happy as much as possible, and they're trying the best to make their kids happy at every moment. However, the psychologist's standpoint is that kids don't need parents who will make their kids happy. They need parents who will help them become capable. We need a shift from feeling like you need to keep kids entertained and happy to helping them become good citizens, decision makers, and able to cope with life's ups and downs. Part of the self-esteem movement, and we seem to be shifting away from this luckily, but this was big in the 90s into the early 2000s, trying to get kids to feel good about themselves without foundation. Culturally, parents thought that they could spoon-feed self-esteem. It's like trying to make a kid a doctor or a concert pianist without having to go to med school or a residency program or without practicing and performing piano. It sounds crazy, but it's what parents tried to do. Self-esteem has to be built. It cannot be given. It comes from rising to a challenge and hard work and achievement. Happiness and self-esteem are outcomes based on building that foundation. Overindulgence robs children of a lot of different opportunities, such as to earn a privilege, to learn that everything in life isn't given, it's earned, to learn to make do with what they have, and therefore to appreciate the effort in earning something. Meeting your child halfway, they save half and you match it, gives them that opportunity. To learn the value of patience, to learn to wait for those horseback riding lessons or the new bat or anything else that's a bigger gift or a bigger ask. to learn the value of money. If they always get what they want whenever they ask, it removes any opportunity to talk about what things cost, how long we work to be able to pay for it, or how long they might work to earn their portion, which also builds appreciation for the object or activity. If it's always given, then it loses value quickly, and they're on to the next thing. When parents are interested in always making their kids happy, they also give way more wants than needs. We need to talk to our kids and teach them about wants versus needs, rather than always giving them what they want when they ask for it. Additionally, for some parents, it's about seeking their children's approval. When parents seek children's approval, there's a role reversal. This gives children the power in the relationship. Children whose parents give or do too much don't learn to do for themselves. If this is a struggle for you, this is likely something either from your own upbringing that needs addressed, or a feeling of guilt over a family situation, such as a child who was ill, or if the parent has been ill, or a divorced family. How can you heal that wound of seeking approval, wherever it stems from? This sets up a very unhealthy dynamic, so you'll want to work with a therapist so you can become that strong parent that sets healthy boundaries for your children's long-term success and happiness without feeling guilty for needing to do so. Children need parents who are in charge and confident in setting boundaries, and the lessons we're teaching them for life's successes. Parents who are okay with not being liked all the time. If you set boundaries fairly and with love yet firmness, they still love us, and they will grow up to be much better adjusted adults. They may not always like us, but they will still love us. We also want to set appropriate limits, and for a lot more information on how to do this, set boundaries with love and respect. If you aren't sure how to do this, to get a lot more information on this, how to set boundaries with love and respect, see the discipline classes starting with Intro to Discipline. You want to teach emotion management and social skills. You can see the classes on your developing toddler, preschooler, helping your child with anger, misbehaviors and solutions for more on this. Okay, so now let's get into the ways of overindulging. There was a study done by Brent Knopf who researched overindulgence and put it into 3 categories. Material overindulgence, which is